Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and we are going to be returning to one of our new favorite topics, what we've been playing this week. Let me get the introductions out of the way for everybody. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Gray Mouse 1.
Just like we have been for the past few weeks, every time we go ahead and we take some time out to indulge into our favorite hobby in all the world, we go out of our way, take a few notes, and actually take some time to go ahead and talk about the games that we actually get the opportunity to play during the week. Being middle-aged guys, we don't always have the time to go ahead and take advantage of our favorite hobby, but when we do, we'll go ahead and we'll make sure to make notes about what we played so we can talk about them on video in front of you. Now, none of these are going to be full reviews or anything like that. They're going to be just our thoughts about what we've been playing, off the top of our head, maybe a little description of the game and everything else if you might be interested in looking for them. Spoiler warnings, I guess, for anything that's older than 2 generations. But really, if we're talking about a game that's around 10 years old and it's a popular game, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard about it anyways. All right? So, what's the game count that we have in front of us, guys, so we can determine who goes first?
I have 5.
So, you have 5.
I have 4.
Right. Mouse has 4. I have 5. This will actually end up being 4 because 2 of the games we end up talking once. So, Theme, you're up. You start show and tell, sir.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Show and tell.
Cool.
This is one of the coolest games for the NES. One of the coolest games for the NES. I mean, you start off as basically a dude walking pretty much in your drawers, shooting axes. You burn that first, then eggs crack open and you get some shit. I remember I first saw this, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then egg cracks open and you get on a skateboard and I'm like, what the hell? Let me play that. I'm going to eliminate all logic here. I want to try that. Next thing you know, play that shit and it was fun. The game looked good. The game sounded good. The music was good. Oh, God. Fond memories with this. Fun game. Play Adventure Island. Play Super Adventure Island. Play that shit, okay? All right. I'm done with that game. I'm done.
All right. Gray Mouse, you want to go first or shall I?
I can go.
Go ahead, sir.
The game that I kind of went back to the classics again. In fact, I did a gameplay on this a couple months ago. But keep going back. That just means that the game is magnificent and a cult classic. I wouldn't even call it a cult classic. Just straight classic. None other than The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. What else?
There's a cult following with that.
What else can be said about this game? In fact, the Game Informer, issue number 300, as a matter of fact, says that this is the greatest 300 game. This is the best. This is the top of the list. And the second one is Mario 3, if you want to know. But anyway, it's a great game. This is what I felt that the Super Nintendo was built for, created for. It really has a lot of fond memories of this game, of sitting here playing this game. So I was very happy to pick this up again this week.
Cool. Okay, for the first game, I'm going to go ahead and show off. This one I actually did gameplay also. In fact, the first video that I put up in like almost over 2 months of not putting anything up was actually gameplay of me playing Super Dodgeball Advance on the GBA. Yes, even though the NES version of Super Dodgeball is what's that? From a nostalgic and a sentimental viewpoint, probably my favorite one. this is the best version of dodgeball. All right. There are so many things that you can do as far as like um, control of the extra players that are in the other positions. The fact that you could sit there, you could instead of just being able to pass the ball, you could pass supers to other players. So players on the outside of the court, and players in the back court can sit there and also do super shots and other things like that. Multiple fake outs with like the follow up players from the back court are rushing up to the line and jumping over and doing stuff like that. So you can get really, really intricate on this game. Not that I've seen it actually help too much against the computer, because the computer tends to be an input reading cheating piece of shit sometimes. But it's still definitely a fun thing, a fun game, and also one of the games from the early GBA games where I believe if you only had one of these and another GBA and a link cable, you'd be able to play versus off of one cartridge. All right, so definitely. Of all the dodgeball games that are out there, Super Dodgeball Advance for the GBA, definitely one to get a hold of. All right?
That game is just so nostalgic because I thought it was the GBA, or I'm talking about the NES version. It's just that it's like you get done at school or on the playground, you play dodgeball and it's dark outside and you got to come home. You play dodgeball on your NES. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same, but still, it's great that they took that concept of a game, dodgeball.
Yeah,
you don't have powers. You don't have powers in real life either.
Yeah, and really, if you think about it from a developer standpoint, as far as the dodgeball games, it's a spin-off of Renegade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Kunio-kun games. Yeah. So it's something to think about, but it's a great game. All right.
River City Ransom with balls. with fucking dodgeballs attached to them.
Yeah, well, actually, more of like a specialized version of let's see here. There's a Japanese version of River City Ransom where it's all just miniature sports games. Them in high school. Yeah. So it's like a more specialized, more fleshed out version of that. All right, as far as sports games goes.
Classic game.
Yeah. All right, Theme, what do you got next for us, sir?
Me and my sister used to play this for hours. I could barely find opponents for this game.
Othello. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Playing against a computer is good enough. But playing against someone, I mean, you can have wars with this game. It is better playing it on the NES than having a real Othello board. Trust me, it's just...
Yeah.
Because sometimes on a real Othello board, you can't see shit.
True.
But if you can get past that, a real Othello board, yeah, fine. I would rather play this on the NES than play Family Feud on the NES or Jeopardy. Or,
absolutely.
Any of those games or like Scrabble. Everybody can see your pieces. What the fuck am I going to play Scrabble for on the NES against somebody? No. But this on the NES, just fine. Love this game.
I've played that with my as a kid with my family members also. Hours. You just play it, you stick it in there, and before you know it, it's like 3-4 hours later, like, God, how many matches do we do?
Me and my sister have tied dozens of times. It will come down to one move, and it'll be just enough, and it'll count. And I'm like, and we're like, no, we both tie, and we got to go again. We're not going to bed without a fucking winner. We were just like...
Yeah. There are other hidden jokes about Othello and Shakespearean tragedy hidden there, but that's not this type of video. Gray Mouse, what do you got up next, sir?
Oh, I knew that was going to come up. I
didn't want to break that up.
I'm going to leave that one alone. So I'm going to go into the modern era now. I've been playing this game for a couple of weeks now. It's still a good game. I cleared it already, but I find myself going through it again and again with different characters and different frenemies. So the game that I'm talking about is Kirby.
Yep.
Again, I want to restate that Kirby has never been in a bad game. If you could prove otherwise, please write that in the comments. We're waiting. But anyway, what's more to say about this game? I don't want to go fanboy here, but
why not?
For Nintendo and all, but pick this up. Do yourself a damn favor. Pick it up.
Yeah.
What's more to say about the pink puffball?
Yep. Kirby's great. All right. The next game that I've been playing was one of the ones that I actually picked up over the weekend, and I didn't initially know whether or not I was actually going to keep a hold of this, but then I started playing it, and it actually turned out to be something a bit different than what I was initially expecting, and that's Final Fantasy Fables.
Whoa.
Chocobo's Dungeon.
Chocobo Dungeon.
Yeah, for the Wii. All right. I went ahead. I started this up. The art style is a little jarring because they do go ahead and they do go toward more of the stylized chibi type characters. It looks like the folks that they had that were working on the old Legend of Mana and Dawn of Mana games for the PS2, that they were the guys who worked on this. There's just something really, really off about the way that they rendered the mouths and when people speak that just kind of really throws me off in this game. All right. But besides that, it plays like pretty much a roguelike action RPG, where they sit there, they drop you into a procedurally generated dungeon. You go from floor to floor. You can't save while you're in the dungeon, and you can only sit there and escape the dungeon if you ever find the exit. You can either escape out or you can continue into the next floor. If you die within the dungeon, you lose everything that you have on you. All right, and then you end up back in the farm with the Chocobo, and pretty much, you don't lose any of your levels or anything else, but you lose any of the equipment that you've had equipped and all of that. Okay, it's actually not half bad as far as little roguelike action RPGs goes. I think because of this, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna mess around with let's see here, Izuna, Legend of the Unemployed Ninja, and Shiren the Wanderer, which are both handled by Atlas a little bit more. Those are both on the DS and also the PSP and also the Vita, and also the 3DS. So I'll probably go back and I'll probably mess around with that more, but I'll probably be dipping my toe in and out of Chocobo's dungeon off and on. I know that they also have one for the DS, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search that one out yet. But considering how OCD I am about getting a hold of like everything within like a certain series or whatnot, that'll probably end up in my shelf sooner or later. But yeah, that's the second one that I was playing this week. Theme, we're back to you, sir.
I'm not sure if you were there for this story I'm about to tell, Gray Mouse, because this was a Navy story when I was playing this game. Now, this game, super high impact. A good football game in the arcade and our system, even though it doesn't use the NFL license. There are no NFL teams on this. But you could, like, when you hit someone hard, helmets, pads burst out, people roll across the ground, things like that. I remember playing this game against a stranger. I didn't even know this guy, and this was a place called SS Sam's, Sasebo Single Sailors and Marines. Oh, yeah, because me and Gray Mouse were in the Navy, stationed in Sasebo, Japan. So I was there playing against this guy. Now, I hit him, and they have something called a hitometer that comes up. And there's a guy that's there with, he kind of looks like a DJ or some sort. And the hitometer goes a little bit. And he goes, yeah, so what? Now, the guy replies, you see, that was a weak-ass hit. And I was like, but it put you on your ass, though. It gets quiet for like 10 seconds. The people that was there that witnessed that, one guy broke his silence. He's like, where do you go from there? And I had to explain people, that's my mentality playing versus with anybody. Why the fuck should I use all of my talents to get the job done? I didn't have to hit him hard. You were a pansy. You went down. If I have to do the weakest shit to beat you, what does that say about you? But super high impact. Love that game for the Super Nintendo. Very much.
Cool.
Wow, that brought back good.
Wait, you were there for that, weren't you?
I was. There's a lot of stuff that went on between us when we were in the game. Oh my god. Anyway, back to what we played this week. So, wow. Another modern game. I played this one again, Blue Reflection.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
It's I got a little bit further this time. It's very interesting.
I hope so.
Well, it's you don't really have to push the story forward. You can sit around and level up like most RPGs.
Okay.
It's like an action RPG / visual novel /
Life sim.
life sim / some provocative moments / yeah. Anyway, it's a very interesting game. The concept, basically, again, I'll just explain it real quick. A girl who can't play, who can't do things now because what is it called? I'm sorry, to dance as a ballerina, and she hurt her foot in real life and hurt her knee, and it pretty much destroyed her dream. But in the fantasy world that she gets sucked into, she turns into a kick-ass swordswoman that could just fucking go through enemies really easy, and it just the game. There's a lot of growth for the character, as from where she was a helpless person saying, "Oh, I'm ruined now that my," pretty much like any JRPG is, it's cliche, but it's a trope. But it's just interesting to follow along with her, during the game and watch her, gain confidence in her abilities and her skills and herself. It's kind of a feel good game, but yeah, I haven't, I'm about, I'd say about a third through it. I'm not even half that, so so far it's been well. I really do need to pick it up a lot more often, but I have another game that I've been that's been sucking up most of my time. But anyway, go ahead, Rev.
Yeah, the next set of games that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring up. All right, speaking of fan service and other things like that,
There you go, fan
let's
service.
see here. I got a hold of these games just a little while ago. These are part of the games that I thought I had physically, but turns out that I just had the ROM, and I was playing it on the PSP for a long time. But I got a hold of Iketosen Eloquent Fist.
Oh yes.
And Iketosen Cross Impact. All right. Basically, all girl cast beat 'em ups. All right, this was published by Marvelous Entertainment in Japan, and it's developed by Tamsoft, who, true to form, they went from one pretty much set of ecchi fan service games to another set of ecchi fan service games, because they're also the ones who do all the development and publication for the Senran Kagura series. All right, which yeah, all you have to do is go ahead and look that up, and you'll be able to see anything like that, right? But Iketosen Eloquent Fist is pretty much the cool thing about this is that you've got about like maybe a cast of 12 playable characters, but it pretty much covers just the first Iketosen series, right? And then Cross Impact, it expands the character roster out to something like 34 or 36 playable characters. over multiple stages and other stuff. Pretty much, it expands the character set all the way up to what they had, I believe, in either Great Guardians or Dragon Destiny. All right, but seriously, going through battling hordes and hordes of mindless enemies. I mean, if you have the right character and you have the right skill set equipped, you can literally go ahead and build a combo meter, continuing through all the way into like the multiple hundreds, even thousands. And by the time you get to the end of the stage, you find out that your character has jumped like 3 or 4 fucking levels because you've played through and you've comboed them up that way. It's still really, really hard. Unfortunately, I haven't found any like reliable FAQs on how to unlock their supers and all of the other stuff, because pretty much aside from like all the different like school playthroughs and everything else, the story playthroughs, all the different characters that you could use, all the characters can level up pretty much from level 0 all the way to I think level 32 or something like that, and then times that by the number of characters that you have, and then each character has their own character gallery that they can go ahead and unlock. There is just so much stuff that will keep you glued to your screen, tapping X over and over and over and over again, pretty much. Yeah, so I mean, definitely a lot of content in here besides the animated movies. All right, so yeah, those 2 games right there. Maybe sometime over the week on a Tuesday playthrough, Take It With You Tuesday, I'll go ahead and I'll hook up the PSP and we'll do some videos on this too. All right, but that's pretty much the other set of things. Theme, what do you got next, sir?
Wow. I'm going to show you guys the game before I even go into explaining it.
Speaking of PSP.
The funniest thing about this game is that I played the PSP version, I played the DS version, and I played the 360 digital version. All 3 of them. Number 1, all 3 of those versions are different. Number 2, and here's the real kicker here, these games, okay, you're a ninja, collecting gold, trying to open doors and go through them, avoiding all kinds of obstacles like bombs, like guns that will aim and fire, missiles, all kinds of stupid shit that can happen to you. I remember when I first played this game and I was like, oh, I'm a ninja, cool, and I'm bouncing off walls and shit, not knowing that physics matter, especially when you fall. If you fall too far, you will hit the ground and you will crunch and you will die. The funniest thing about that, it says ouch on the screen when it happens. And I was just like, oh, I was like, son of bitch. Okay, that was my fault. Let me try again. And ever since then, this M Plus has been just nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. 2 players, the 4 players is even worse. I have to go back and play M Plus Plus for the PS4. But M Plus, check that shit out and play it. Play it with someone, because either you can race, there'll be 2 of you trying to, go to get to the door, or you will have puzzles that one will have to unlock the door and one will have to go through it. And neither of you can die, or you have to start fucking over. So again, great fucking game, especially if you have, buddies to play with. It becomes very interesting after that. Gray Mouse, you have the floor.
Wow, I don't know if I can. You grandstanded me, man. What a great game. And also, Ikitosen is one of that's a great anime. Please watch it. Dragon Dynasty and Great Guardian, excellent. So the reason why I said that, it's an ecchi anime. The reason why I said that, because my next game will join right into that type of thing. So I got a Netflix account finally. And when I got this Netflix account, I was scrolling through and I was like, because I've seen this over at Rev's house several times, and I asked him about it. I was like, "What's that anime?" Like, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had time to watch it yet. Like, okay, you know what? I'm here. You know, I got time. Click, click, click. I was sitting there going through it, and I was like, okay, the first episode's pretty good. Second episode, before I knew it, I was like, oh God, I just watched the whole season. It's just the way Netflix is. So then I was like, okay, so they got video games. So now this isn't the first video game. There's a PSP game, I think was the first one, and there's two PS4 versions, but it's a different story arc. And there is also, I believe, a mobile, but I'm not sure. And this also comes on the cusp of season 3 being announced, and a couple of new visual novels, and also a manga coming out for this. And this is kind of a love-hate anime type game, because this gets a lot of hate to it, because it's like a Mary Sue type of character, sort of, kind of. But there's a lot of people that hate it, and it gets a lot of hate on it, but there's a lot of people that really love it. So the game that I was playing on the PlayStation 4 is Sword Art Online. For this one is Lost Song. And so what really got me into that was that I watched the anime, and then after I watched the anime, I was okay, I want to know more about this world. So then I started reading the manga. I was like, okay, I want to know more about this world. And it just roller coastered into a whole bunch of things. I'm not even going to go. But anyway, this is like a JRPG visual novel and a lot of echiness. Ecchi is Japanese for horny stuff. Like it's
really fan servicey.
Very, very fan servicey. In fact, the hero is Kirito, and he surrounds himself, typical in JRPG, with like 6 or 7 women. Some older, some younger. Anyway. So this is a good visual novel. The game is great. I'm through, I think, the first world. There's more. I haven't really played it because I've been kind of in between both of these. So it's kind of back and forth. But I do find myself leveling up in this game more, because there's certain parts where I can't get past until I level them up. But yeah, the whole series, the Sword Art Online, it's a very interesting concept. It's a very interesting world, and it's very easy to get wrapped into, because it just is. So like I said, it's a love-hate. There's a lot of people that hate it because of the story arcs, and there's a lot of people that really love it because it's the same thing. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I was playing this week.
So wait a minute, you said that you started out with Lost Song, right?
Yeah, no, I know. There's another one. There's a fragment.
Yeah, Hollow Realization.
And then there's another one before that. There's a refragment. There's a lot.
Well, there's on the PSP. There's let's see here. It's Infinity Moment, which I think was only released in Japan.
Correct.
But the one that came out before Lost Song was Hollow Realization. All right, which was 2014.
Yep.
And then they have the new one, which is coming out later on this year, which is Fatal Bullet.
No, I already got that one.
Oh, it's out. It's out now, right?
It's out now.
Yeah, it's out now. That's right.
But no,
it came out like a few weeks ago.
They actually, what they did was, see, there's a game before that. I think it's what was that one that you just said?
Hollow Realization.
Yeah, or yeah, that one I think got redone for the PlayStation 4. I think it is.
Yeah.
And then what it was that the anime, they get stuck in this world. There's virtual VRMO RPG, and I know that's a mouthful. And then what that is that actually, instead of doing the other story arcs, what that does is actually puts you in that original story arc, and you're going beating bosses from floor 1 all the way up to floor 100. And that's something I got to pick up. That's one that I don't have. But, yeah, so I have the Lost Song and then the Fatal Bullet. But, yeah, there's several that I need to pick up. But, I mean, I've already seen the whole, season 1 and season 2 of the anime. And so anyway.
When you pick up Hollow Realization, you'll be able to find it for like $125. So, I mean, it's – yeah, because it's been out since 2014. So, all right, cool. Okay, my last one for this particular batch before the theme finishes out is I have speaking of classics, spent a long time playing this.
Oh Lord!
Title Legends 2 on the PlayStation 2. Nice. This game, this particular collection right here has a crap load of games. Like Darius Gaiden, Arabian Magic, Liquid Kids, Super Space Invaders, Legend of Cage, a whole bunch of games. And this particular version, the thing is that you can find the first Title Legends for the Xbox, all right, and also PS2. And for some reason, Title Legends 2, I believe, only came out on the PS2. All right, and the problem with this particular version here is that they didn't print a lot of these when they went ahead and they did the Title Legends 2 run. All right, the biggest reason why I've been playing this is mostly for elevator action returns. All right, that is what I spent the most hours playing. All right, on the original Title Legends, they've got elevator action, and that's probably one of my favorite arcade games all the way back to like the early 80s when I first saw the cabinet. All right, because the thing is that playing that particular game, it's really, really simple. You're sitting there, you're the spy with a gun, you can sit there, jump kick guys and the other agents that are coming out of doors. You go through doors, you pick up points and other stuff like that while trying to travel down this hotel room or executive building, right? My favorite thing to do in all the world in that particular game is to kill enemy agents by smashing them with a fucking elevator, all right? First time I saw that, my jaw dropped. And ever since then, I was like, every time I see that particular game out in the wild, I will take some time out and I will spend a few quarters on that thing and I will play it, all right? In fact, that's one of the games that I was playing over there on the the emulation cab that we have over there, the break room. All right, but he doesn't have Elevator Action 2 on there, and the only other way that you sit there and play Elevator Action 2 aside from this on home consoles is that they released Elevator Action Returns on the Sega Saturn in Japan. Okay. Yeah. Most Sega Saturn imports aren't that expensive, except for that one. That one is ungodly expensive for some reason. All right, and the only way that you can really go out of your way and play it on home console is pretty much Title Legends 2. All right, and I spent around 3 hours playing it. And I think I got stuck on stage 7 before I got to the point where I was like, all right, I think I'm done for right now. Because when I first turned on my PS2, I was just trying to go ahead and actually trying to find a way to install Castle Shikigami 2 on that one, which is a great shooter, and that was actually one that I was hoping to get some time in on, but I didn't get to. But that's pretty much the last one out of my batch. What's the last one for you, Theme? I know you've got the last one there, sir.
I have a love and hate relationship for this.
I knew it.
Okay, look. Story with this one. I remember when I was coming back from Japan, and I was playing this on my flight. Lights are out, earphones on, PSP. I died in a very peculiar way. First of all, I was already dying. But then I died in a very peculiar way, and I said very loud, damn it! I woke motherfuckers up. I was like, off, done for now. That was 8 years ago. This is the first time I've touched that shit ever since. I've been pissed at it ever since. This is the only Ghosts and Goblins game I have never beat. That will change. Oh, God. Arthur, just... Okay, there's another middle-aged guy. His name is Theory515, and he can't really join us often because of time constraints and stuff like that. But I remember that his girlfriend was braiding my hair, and I heard him playing this game. He dies. I can hear him die. And then next thing you know, unlike other Ghosts and Goblin games, you are born or respawn, whatever, near where you died in Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. What happens is that he gets respawned, and then he dies again like 5 seconds later, and I heard it. And I'm like, what happened to you? And he's like, I was born on a platform. Needless to say, he turned that shit off. And he's like, done for now. Can't play that shit. If you're going to fuck up like that, damn you, Capcom. The Ghosts and Goblins series is one of the hardest series in video game history, and you do that to motherfucking people? Damn it. You make motherfuckers scream that air marshals almost attack you? God damn it. It's just, yeah.
I would say no
relationship, but I will beat that bitch. I will do it.
I would say notoriously hard, but it's actually more like legendarily hard. That's the thing that as I think Gray Mouse is about to say defines Nintendo hard as far as the type of games go.
No,
yeah.
I was gonna say it's so badass that Arthur and his girlfriend are having sex in a freaking cemetery.
On the first one. Well, about to or got done.
Yeah,
Either or.
about to. Yeah. And there's, and the funny thing is that depending on what games you have, there are other parts of the lore about Arthur, about how the fact that he's the original Darkstalker demon killer, that even guys like Dimitri and Dante from Devil May Cry bow before him. All right, they're like, yeah, you're one motherfucker we don't fuck with,
Sir Arthur.
Yeah, Sir Arthur. So, all right, I think that pretty much encapsulate everything that we played, the previous week.
Or survived.
Or survived, without getting arrested or throwing portable systems out the window. All right. With all of that said, like we usually say at the end of every one of these particular videos, is that if there's been something that you've been playing this particular week, or if you have thoughts on any of the games that we happen to mention here, we'd love to hear it. You tell us by leaving us a comment below. At this point too, if you like the video, we'd appreciate the thumbs up. We really thank you for watching all the way up to this point. If you really didn't like it, you can go ahead and mark it the other way. Either way, leave us a comment, and if you're really interested in seeing more videos from us and you want to stick around, we do suggest going ahead, clicking on those subscriptions and clicking on that bell icon to go ahead and turn on those notifications, and you'll know whenever we go ahead and we drop out a new video. With all of that said, that's pretty much what the middle-aged guys have been playing this week. And all our bullshit about that ends right here. I'm the Reverend.
The Theme here.
And I'm Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, and not throwing portables and waking motherfuckers up. Ooh.
Or getting arrested.
Credits.